Now, my career was long, it was great, but it ended in a way that didn't really suit the way I wanted it to go. My dream was to go to the Olympics, and then when I found out Vancouver was going to have the Olympics, I dreamed of ending my career, standing up there, looking at a crowd of 20,000 Canadian fans cheering as I went off and did my jumps that I'd been working on, to the Canadian crowd, to my parents, my friends, everybody in my own country in Vancouver. Now that ended on one morning when I woke up and I looked like this. Overnight, after a training session, I'd had a grand mal seizure, and it had nothing to do at all with my sport. And after a week in Montreal on the neuro ward, we found out that I actually had a right temporal lobe tumor. So my career ended in October of 2009. Kind of the worst time to actually have your career end is 4 months before a home Olympic Games. And I was pretty sad. Everywhere I went, it was, are you healthy? Are you okay? Is everything fine? And here, you know, I had wanted to be in Vancouver. I wanted to be at the Olympics. I wanted to be a part of something that I'd worked so hard for. And I was pretty down, and I was really upset. And the Olympic Committee called me, and they said, you know, we have this spot. We'd love you to run with the torch. And I don't know, probably many of you were involved in the torch relay too, but they said, we'd love you to run with the torch in Red Deer. And you know, it was funny because I really didn't want to do it. It was the last thing I wanted to do, was put on this tracksuit and pretend with a smiley face that I was happy to be a part of the Vancouver Games in this context. But I knew that my hometown had been wonderful, and everyone had been so great throughout my career that it was something that I had to do. So I put on my face, and I smiled, and I got in the tracksuit, and I pretended to be excited even though I was really, really upset. And I got in this van like everyone did, and it was sitting there, and everyone was so happy and pumped, and sat next to this kid, and his name was Nick. And Nick was 17 years old, and he is actually at the school that I'd gone to, and he's telling me his whole school was coming out for this, and it was such a big deal, and he's beside himself. And I'm listening, and he goes, you know what? I have cerebral palsy, and I've spent the last 3 months learning how to walk so that I can walk my 300 meters with this torch. And it was just this overwhelming feeling of, wow. And I took that moment and I kind of realized that what's great about the Olympics is that they're bigger than the people that win the medals. They're bigger than the gold medal, the silver medal, the bronze medal. What's great about the Olympics is the story, the journey of greatness. And here was Nick, and he gets back on the bus after walking that 300 meters, and he said, I'm now part of the Olympic Games. And when I see that torch lit in Vancouver, I'll know that I was a big part of that. And I was just in awe. And it was really the first moment that my sporting goals were separated from what the Olympics are. And it's this huge celebration of greatness. It's this celebration of a journey that all people take. And so many people take part in this journey besides the athletes that are there in the starring roles towards this pursuit of greatness.